The Customer tab is the area of the point of sale screen in which all of the customer's information is filled in for the ticket. There are two types of customers. There are account customers and there are cash customers. By default, when a new ticket is started, the account will be filled in with cash customer account. If the cash customer account is in there, you'll be able to fill in the home address, phone number, and name information. If you have an account customer, you'll change where it says cash customer to that account, and all of the information will be filled in from the account file. You'll need to make sure to set up your account customers in the account file. So if you're not sure how to do this, you'll want to watch the tutorial on setting up account customers. So if we do have an account customer, we would just need to type in the first couple of letters of the account. The more letters you type in for the account, the fewer choices you'll have. So if we just type in just one letter, we'll have a whole list of choices for the account customer. But if we type in, say, 2 or 3 letters, it'll narrow the list down. We can just select the account from the list. Now, if the particular account has any kind of instructions that are set to pop up, those instructions pop up and we can't continue until we choose OK. If we wanted to see those instructions again, this instructions button at the bottom would be lit up, and if we click on it, it will bring that instruction back up. All of the information is already filled in for this account customer, including the terms. If you needed to make changes, you noticed that something was incorrect with this account's information, you would simply double click on the account and you could make the changes and then choose Save and Return. If you type in part of the account name and it doesn't find that account, it would give you a message similar to this saying that the account was not found and ask you if you wanted to create a new account. So if they really weren't in your system and you wanted to create them, you could choose yes and you could put in the account information. However, if you think that the account already should be in your system, you'll want to cancel out of that and try typing in the account information again. Usually less is better. Somebody may have mistyped the name when they put it in originally, or you might be mistyping it in when you're putting it in now, so that's why sometimes it's better just to put in as few letters as possible. If you're doing a cash job, again, you would have left it set to cash customer. And then if you put in the phone number and have the mailing list module, if you've done work for this customer before, it will bring their information back up. So here, this customer is in our system already, so we could choose yes, and it would bring up all of that customer's information. Now, if that wasn't the correct customer, but we felt that we had done work for them in the past, we could choose the Advanced Search button at the bottom. This allows us to search by more than just a phone number. We could type in the name and then search, and then it would bring up our possibilities. We just highlight the one we want and choose OK. Now, if we don't have this customer in our system, the only thing we have to fill in is the name information. If you have the mailing list module, if the items in red are not filled in, it will still let you invoice the ticket. However, that customer's information will not be added to the mailing list. When filling in the address information, if you type in a customer's zip code first and then click on the magnifying glass, it will bring up a list of cities that match that zip code, and you can choose from that. And that'll save you a little bit of time in filling in the information. You can add in the customer's email address. The Pio number and job number fields are generally used on account customers. So if a customer sends over a Pio number and you want to make note of that, that's the field you'd fill it in on. The CSR area normally would be filled in if your employees are all set up in the system. If you don't know how to set up your employees, you'll want to watch the tutorial on setting up employees. You can pick an advertising source from the list. You can add to this list by going into the Administrator module under Configuration. And then last, the terms could be changed on this. Normally for a cash customer, the terms are going to be COD. However, if you wanted to change the terms, you can choose from the drop-down menu, and these terms would only be changed on this particular ticket. They would go back to the normal terms of COD on the next ticket. We already looked at the advanced search feature. Let's take a look at the account status, and that's going to be for your account customers. So again, if we went back to an account customer that we had and we clicked on the account status, it gives us a thumbnail view of their account, how much they currently owe us, when the last sale was that we made, last time they paid us, things of that nature. The map button allows us to map on MapQuest the address in the address field. The job location box is more of a visual. It allows us to mark down whether the customer will be having the job done in shop and if they're waiting for it or dropping it off, or if they're doing the job mobily, and if this is the location that we're going to be doing the work at, or if we're going to be doing it elsewhere. If we mark it as mobile with the same location, when we go to the job tab, it will have already marked it as a mobile job and filled in the job location with the information in the customer tab. However, if we mark it as an other location, then it will still mark it as mobile, but it will leave the address information blank. Now, if this job is going to be billed to a third party, such as an insurance company, or if it's an account customer and they have a separate billing office that billing needs to be sent to, that's when we would want to fill in the bill to insurance side. So let's go back to it being a cash customer because that's our most common. And then here, if they were having the work done through insurance, you'll highlight the word same and then type in part of the name of the account and then choose OK here. And now our account information is set up. On the bill to side, you can only use an account customer. So if they aren't already set up in your account file, you'll need to set them up. If the account is an insurance company and set up for billing through EDI, your EDI checkbox will be checked and the EDI code will be listed. If you need to change the EDI code for this particular job, you can use the down arrow and make a change. However, if the EDI code is incorrect on this account, your better bet is to go ahead and double click on the account, make the changes in the account file, and then save those changes. We also have an area where you can put in the agent information. When you put in an agent, it will bring up their information. Now sometimes it may say that the agent isn't found and you may have put them in the system before. With an agent, the customer type has to be set to agent in the customer file. So if we double click here, you'll see that the customer type is set to agent. So if you're relatively sure that you've set this agent up before and it's saying that they're not found, you'll want to go under POS and choose customers and search up that account and then change the customer type to agent. Along the bottom here we have a couple different buttons. The claim launch is for Glaxis, so you'll want to watch the tutorials about Glaxis dispatches to find out more about the claim launch button. The claim button here would only be available if the account customer in the bill to section is set up as an insurance company or insurance network, and it would have claim information specific for that particular insurance company. So if they bill through Lynx, you have one screen. If they bill through SafeLight, you would get a different screen that would have all the necessary fields for SafeLight. And if they're not going through the EDI billing process, it would have a generic insurance screen. If the account that you're putting in for the bill to is not an insurance company, then you won't have an insurance button. You'll have this details button that gives you an option to put in some generic information such as a Pio number and job number. The account status button will be for the bill to account, the same as the account status button on the customer side. And then of course the instructions button as well. If there were instructions for that account, you can click on the button and see those instructions. If the job that you're doing is an insurance job and there is an agent involved and you're going to be billing directly to the agent as opposed to the insurance company, you can check the print as bill to box, and then when you print out your invoice, it will have the agent in as the bill to as opposed to the insurance company. And that pretty much wraps up our customer tab. If you have any further questions, please contact our support department.